Hey there folks, Joe Welch is here, and we are back with another Service Tech tip video. By now we are all feeling these warmer days, which means one thing: RV season is here and it's time to de-winterize your RV. Stick with me until the end of the video in a couple of minutes and we'll have your RV ready for its next adventure. Are you ready? Let's get started. Today we're lucky enough to go over how to de-winterize a 2024 Winnebago Revel. This unit has a 21-gallon freshwater tank, and remember, put in the comments below what unit you want to see us de-winterize next. So to start, kind of before your step one, like a pre-check, I just want to make sure that the positions of all my valves here are correct. That way when I pressurize the system, I don't have any water coming out underneath initially. So we have fresh tank drain as well as low points. I know they're not all labeled, but I just want to make sure they're all closed so it doesn't start draining when I initially put water to the system. Now we're going to go to the rear of the coach to begin. So back here in the spacious rear, we have the B&B Nautilus system, and the first thing I got to do is put water to the system. So whether we're filling the fresh or we're just using our city water, I'm going to match my positions to each of my labeled termination valves here, hook up my hose, and then I'm putting all the positions matching city water because that's what I'm going to be using today to de-winterize the coach. And now I can go ahead and turn on my hose. So we're doing this via city water. We have our hose on and it hooked up correctly and our positions in city water. If we were doing this via pump, we would put the positions in power fill to the tank and then we just flip our pump switch on. But either way, once we have pressurized water to the coach, I'm going to go ahead and start at a high point here in the unit, and I'm going to start at the shower. So if I go ahead and I turn on my shower head here, we're going to get the antifreeze out of the hot side of the shower, and once I have that running out clear, and honestly the longer we run this the better, but once I have this running out clear, I can shut my hot side and go over to my cold. And I'm going to repeat the process. I'm waiting for the antifreeze to come out of the line, and I'm just going to again wait for this to run clear until I'm confident that I've started to chase all the antifreeze out of the line up to this shower here. And once I have it nice and clear, shutting it off, and I'm actually going to turn around and go to the sink right behind me. So at this sink, there's actually two things I'm concerned about. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and run the antifreeze out of the cold and the hot side, just like I did on the shower. Just a little bit of pressure on the lines. And once I've run that to clear, the second thing I'm concerned about is this Revel actually has the sink pump here, the drain pump on the sink, that I also want to run all the antifreeze out of. Once I'm confident I've chased all the antifreeze out of my sink as well as my shower, I'm going to go back and actually flush my commode. So of course we have a cassette Thetford here, and I just want to cycle the flushing a few times in order to remove all the antifreeze from these lines as well. The last faucet that we have in the unit itself is actually our outdoor shower. So if I take the provided hose from the unit and I hook it up to our quick connect fitting back here, I can do the same thing we did inside and run the cold and the hot. So you might actually want a fill bucket if you're doing this in your garage or inside the unit itself like I am. And I'm just going to run all the antifreeze out like you've seen me do on the others. And this being the furthest outlet, I just want to be careful to make sure I don't stop it early. So now my cold side as well. And now with both sides shut, I can disconnect my hose here. Just be careful of the pressure. Whew. And now there is one extra step if you feel inclined to do so. Last, right where we began, if you really want to, we can also chase the antifreeze out of our low point drains. So I'm actually going to open all 3 drains here. It is worth noting that if you're still in the garage or somewhere you don't want to drip water, it's going to dump out directly below these valves here. So either move outside or reposition your fill bucket like we have here. So opening my valves, and we're pressurized still, so I'm just opening them for a few seconds and then shutting them back up. And that must mean this is my fresh tank drain, which is pretty much empty, and I can leave empty if I'm not actually filling that for use. Once you've completed the de-winterization phase, it's not a terrible idea to run each sink individually or all together and just make sure you have a good flow rate, as well as no drips or leaks anywhere in the system. Also, if you feel so inclined, it's a perfect opportunity to sanitize your fresh lines or just the tanks themselves. And that's it. You've done it. You've successfully de-winterized your Winnebago Revel, and now you're ready to hit the road. But remember, if you have any doubts or any issues at all, don't hesitate to reach out to our service department. One of our technicians will be happy to help you troubleshoot or get you in for a quick service appointment. Before we end this video, we would really appreciate everyone smashing that like button and subscribing for more RV content. Subscribe and give us a follow to help us grow the channel, and if you found this video helpful or you have any questions at all, please leave us a comment below or reach out to us at colonialrv.com. My name is Joe Welches, and I'll see you all again in the next Colonial Service Tip video.